Okay, so Hariom everyone. Today we'll start with the last cardiovascular disorder, that is cardiac asthma. How many cardiovascular disorders are there in our syllabus?
Three.
Three, ma'am.
Okay, yes. So this one is last cardiovascular disorder we'll go through. Cardiac asthma. So by the name itself, you can understand that cardiac is something which is related to
Heart.
yes, and asthma is something which is related to
Breathing.
Lung.
lungs. Yes, respiratory system. So two systems are together working here. Okay, so we'll see. So what is cardiac asthma? Because we are in cardiac asthma, there are two systems all together involved. Therefore, it is named with the merged sentence. Okay, so cardiac asthma is a medical condition that shares some similarities because it have most of the similarities which are similar to that of bronchial asthma. What is happening in bronchial asthma? Cilias are breaking down, due to which there is difficulty in exhalation and inhalation. So these have most of the similarities related to bronchial asthma, or normal simple term it is called as asthma, but has different underlying causes. Just causes difference are there because some of the most of the symptoms are similar to it. Sometimes referred to as the heart asthma also, because cardiac it is happening. So for cardiac word they just put heart and asthma. Therefore the asthma in the heart also it is called, because its symptoms can mimic or very much similar to that of bronchial asthma. Okay, and causes are different. It is primarily associated with the heart failure, a condition where the heart is unable to, main thing what is happening in this, heart is unable to pump blood effectively. Okay, this same thing is happening in many other diseases which we have studied before, but here the some causes will be different for it. Okay, so here you can see defined as the, so what is cardiac asthma is a clinical syndrome. Now this is the main thing. Clinical syndrome induced by acute passive congestion. What you have to learn there? Congestion and edema. Edema, where we have studied edema? If you have remembered edema. Okay, edema is again emphysema, where we have studied. Can anyone tell?
It's some respiratory disorder.
Really.
Which respiratory disorder?
COPD. Bronchial asthma.
COPD.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
in emphysema, alveoli get affected.
Bronchitis.
Yes. No, actually, it is COPD, a condition combination of the respiratory disorders. Who said COPD? It is right. Okay, so it is what is happening in this congestion and edema. Okay, edema. What is edema? So it occurs when the tiny vessels in the body they get ruptured or they get broken down. It is written in the body, also known as capillaries, will leak the fluid. When the blood vessels are the minute blood vessels or very tiny blood vessels which are so thin, they are further called as capillaries. Okay, so they said that when these capillaries will break down, they can lead to leak of their fluid. This condition is called as edema. In one term we'll call it as edema. Okay, when there is congestion and edema both together are there in the lungs. Okay, in the lungs, then the term will be cardiac asthma. Why? We'll see. Pulmonary edema. Can you tell that what is the, for which we for what we use pulmonary word?
Ma'am, COPD, that is common obstruction pulmonary asthmatic.
Lungs.
Lungs.
Who will tell the full form of COPD?
Common obstruction pulmonary asthma. ma'am. Sorry. No,
COPD.
Chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases.
Yes. You are completely confused with the name. It you can see na C. What is COPD? Where is asthma? Okay, so what means pulmonary word is always, wherever we'll see pulmonary, it is something which is related to respiratory system. Wherever we'll study the word cardiac, it is related to heart. Okay, this should be clear in anatomy. I think so. So pulmonary edema, or the fluid in your lungs. So what it happens, like pulmonary edema is a condition caused by too much fluid in the lungs. Where why this fluid will happen? When these capillaries will get ruptured, or their fluid will leaked out. Definitely, these capillaries of the lungs, you can see here, these capillaries of the lungs are ruptured, and there will be fluid. Here in the diagram also you can see, this is lungs, this is diagram of lungs. When this will be leaked down, there will be liquid in the your lungs. So this can lead to the pulmonary edema. Okay, this fluid collects in the many air sacs. What are the air sacs? Air sacs are the alveoli. Okay, our alveoli are the air sacs. When this fluid will get uh, mm, inside these air sacs in the lungs, it will be difficult for us to breathe in or exhale out. Why? Because I told you, I make even the diagram not required, still I told you there that in emphysema, that alveoli is the air sacs at the end part of, or terminal part of, bronchi, bronchioles. Okay, at last, when terminal bronchi, after the terminal bronchi, there is alveoli, where the actual, what is the mm, process happening inside the alveoli? What happens inside the alveoli? Can anyone tell?
Exchange of gas, ma'am.
Yes, actually, exchange of the oxygen to carbon dioxide to oxygen. So, if this liquid will start getting inside or collecting inside these air sacs, definitely, of course, there will be difficulty in air to exchange. Okay, air will not be exchanged properly. Okay, so difficulty in when we are not able to exchange this carbon dioxide into the oxygen, there will be definitely difficulty in breathing in or exhaling out. Okay, therefore it is written that what happens. So word you have to learn is pulmonary edema. Okay, due to which there will be difficulty in breathe in and out. Okay, this fluid comes from the pulmonary hypertension. If we'll use only word hypertension, it means related to cardiac, cardiac, related to cardiac system or heart. If it is related, it is said here pulmonary hypertension. What is hypertension? That is high blood pressure. High blood pressure is, what is blood pressure?
When heart is pumping the blood, or we can say when heart is exerting the blood, that pressure is called blood pressure.
Exerting blood on what? On hand, legs, mouth.
All the body, ma'am. Whole
Body,
body.
ma'am. All parts of body.
In the
Arteries.
wall, walls of the arteries or veins. Okay, uh, when the heart will the pressure exerted by blood on the walls of arteries and veins. Okay, so when this pressure will be, when this same thing will happen in the vessels of pulmonary part, or the lungs part, na? Vessels are there also, because they are only traveling the bloods. So when this will happen in the region of lungs, then it will be pulmonary hypertension. Okay, hypertension means high blood pressure. So this can be simply termed as high blood pressure in your lungs. Okay, because hypertension means high BP, matlab high blood pressure. So in which reason? In pulmonary reason. Okay, in the vessels of pulmonary part or lungs part. Hmm. So this fluid comes from pulmonary hypertension, which leads to pulmonary edema. Okay, pulmonary hypertension means very high, with the very high force of the blood on the walls of these vessels in the pulmonary region. Okay, when it will happen, what will happen? Which leads to pulmonary edema. When too much force will be there will be the chances for these vessels to get ruptured. Okay, or these capillaries to get ruptured, due to which there will be the fluid inside your lungs. Therefore it is said that which leads to pulmonary edema, or fluid in your lungs. This fluid makes it hard for us to breathe in or exhale out, because no proper oxygen exchange is happening in the air sacs, as there is fluid in the lungs, which leads to cardiac asthma.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
uh, pulmonary hypertension matlab high BP on your lungs, which means that the blood which is going from the heart to the lungs for making it oxygenated, that blood we are talking about.
Yes, actually, what if we'll see, if we'll not see about this disease, we'll use only word pulmonary hypertension, which means there are all around the lungs also, there will be vessels, na, which are supplying blood and all. Okay, so when the pressure of the blood in these vessels will increase, this will be termed as pulmonary hypertension. Okay, hypertension means high BP. Okay, high BP means high blood pressure means the force exerted by blood on the walls of these vessels. Okay, these vessels. So this will be high BP, and this is happening in the region of pulmonary or lungs part. Then it is called as this one. So why it is getting difficult? Why now we'll see in the causes, and then you will understand.
Ma'am,
Is clear to you, ma'am? Pulmonary hypertension.
ma'am,
Yes, sir.
can you repeat the entire physiology from pulmonary hypertension to pulmonary edema and thereby cardiac asthma?
Okay, sir. This one. Okay, you are saying, or how this fluid is coming. You are want to understand that also. Okay, I will
And
let.
thereby how
Will
the cardiac asthma is getting.
okay, I will repeat once. 1 second. I have to discard this. So, okay, understand. Hmm. So, what is happening? First of all, just in simple words, you can understand. There will be edema. What is edema? First, we'll understand. So, what is edema? Now, here carefully. Okay, what is edema? Just visualize it. The same thing you will visualize. It will be easy for you to learn or understand. So, in edema, what is happening? There are everywhere in our whole body. As we also use the word nadis. Na nadis are also nothing but these capillaries only, or more minute part of it. Okay, so we'll understand the whole all over the whole body there are vessels and capillaries. Okay, which are supplying again the blood is traveling out of these. Okay, so what happens, this is our lungs. Okay, this is diagram of lungs. In the lungs, the nearby vessels, all the vessels nearby or capillaries nearby, there are all over, there will be the capillaries lungs which are supplying to the blood, supplying blood to the lungs and other parts. So what happens when these capillaries get ruptured? Okay, why it will be ruptured? Because why if we'll have this one pipe. Okay, what are the chances of this pipe, that this pipe could be break down or could be ruptured when will flow lots of water? Okay, which is not the capacity of this pipe. When there is the it will go beyond this capacity of the pipe, lots of water will go out. There are the chances that this pipe will be ruptured or this pipe will be break down. Okay, similarly, in the vessels and the capillaries nearby the lungs, when the pressure, this pressure of the water on the walls will be called as this water pressure. And here, when the blood exerting this pressure on these vessels is called as BP, and it is happening in the region of lungs. Therefore, we are calling it pulmonary hypertension. Hypertension means high BP, and pulmonary hypertension means this high BP happening in the region
Yeah.
of lungs. So when this rupture will happen, what will happen? Their liquid, their fluid will come out. And here, like this is liquid. Okay, this red color is liquid. This will get accumulated in your lungs, and in the with. So what will happen? They will go inside these air sacs. Air sacs are nothing but alveoli. Okay, this the alveoli, work of the alveoli are to exchange the gases. Okay, to exchange oxygen into carbon dioxide and carbon dioxide into oxygen. So exchange of gases happens. So if there will be lots of liquid inside it, the proper exchange of gases will not happen. Okay, so definitely person will have difficulty in inhaling and exhaling because he is not getting proper oxygen to all the body parts. And also what happens, from heart, we know that from heart blood comes to lungs only to get oxygenated by these alveoli only. When there will no proper oxygenated blood, the blood will not get properly oxygenated. There will be difficulty in the again that blood will goes to into the from the lungs, the blood goes to inside the heart. Now the blood will travel into the heart, but proper oxygen will not again leads to heart. Again that problem will leads to then heart further supply through aorta to whole body. So our body will not get complete oxygenated blood. Then there will be difficulty in breathing, because similar symptoms to as of respiratory system, all the respiratory disorders have similar system symptoms. So it will have symptoms that is uh, symptoms which are similar to respiratory disorders also and cardiac disorders also, because the proper blood, oxygenated blood is not supplied to the whole body. Okay, because main thing is because proper this exchange of gases is not happening. Okay, so this is only written in these words. We'll study here also in simple. I have told you here, we'll study here also what written in this para. It is that the edema is happening. What is edema? I have told you, rupture of the gases and leakage of the fluid in the lungs. This all is happening in lungs. So if because lungs is connected to heart, lungs is only oxygenating that blood, which heart is a type of motor which is supplying, but actually lungs is exchange of gases is happening in the lungs. So what will happen? Pulmonary edema is happening in the pulmonary part or the lungs part, and the fluids in the liquid, the same thing, fluids in the lungs. Okay, this is condition in which the lots of fluid will be there in the lungs, and they will get this, the same thing which I have explained is written here. They will get accumulated in your or collected in your air sacs. These air sacs are nothing but alveoli. Okay, and if it will get collected in air sacs, there will be difficulty of in exchange of gases, and no proper exchange of gases will happen, therefore you will feel difficulty in breathing. Okay, so this is this is the actually which is explaining this. Now this pulmonary this fluid comes from pulmonary hypertension. What is pulmonary hypertension? As I told you here only, that force exerted on the walls of the vessels of pulmonary part are called as, or high BP in this pulmonary part. Therefore, it is written high blood pressure in lungs. Okay, which further leads to pulmonary edema, because high blood pressure, because blood is exerting lots of pressure on these walls of this, due to which these are getting ruptured and leads to fluid in the lungs, because fluid get leaked off, and the fluid makes hard for breathe in or exhale out. This term is called as cardiac asthma. Is it clear to now, all of you, or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so three things to remember: edema in the lungs. Edema, you know what is it, and further leads to collection in the air, matlab accumulation in the air sacs, accumulation of liquid in the air sacs. Okay, you can write these points also. Okay, accumulation of liquid into air sacs, which will leads to difficulty in exchange of gases, which further will leads to difficulty in breathe in or exhale out. This term is called as cardiac asthma. Simple as. Okay. So this is nothing but the heart can't properly pump the blood out, left ventricle, or the pressure in the ventricle is high. Why? Because oxygenated blood is not going inside the, because oxygen, the blood get oxygenated itself in lungs only. Okay, so no proper oxygenated blood is happening. So ventricle, left part of our blood, that is left ventricle, cannot be able to supply through airtight supply to blood body na. So not proper supply is happening into the body also. This disruption in the blood flow leads to increased blood pressure in the blood vessels of the lungs, leakage and accumulation of the fluid. Same thing is written in the other words. It occurs when the left side of the heart suffers from a sudden disproportion between the workload. That means nothing, when it happens when the workload is high, workload is less, and work capacity is low. Okay, what is the workload, that what actual requirement of our body and what it is giving, that same thing we have studied in cardiac problem also, which leads to heart failure. Heart failure doesn't mean that heart will stop working completely, but it means that it is not fulfilling the demand of the blood. Okay, it means that it can't keep up with your body's demand of the blood. What is the actual demand of the body? Requires oxygenated blood only. Okay, so what is the actual demand of our body of for the oxygenated blood? It is not fulfilled, then this is called as heart failure, and further in severe conditions and leads to heart failure. This is the causes. I told you, the causes is different only.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
sorry for interrupting. Can you please just show me the last slide? Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, so causes cardiac asthma is typically caused by the congestive heart failure. Okay, what is congestive heart failure? Heart failure could happens when heart cannot pump. Two things could happen. Okay, if heart cannot pump, okay, pump blood. This condition, while pumping, this condition is called as systolic. You have remembered, na? And in this rest, I told you in rest, what it will called as? While pumping, it will be called as systolic. Yes.
Systolic.
Yes.
While pumping, what will be called it?
Systolic.
Yes.
Systolic.
While rest, it will be called as diastolic. Okay.
That's
So what happens in heart failure? Heart failure could happens when heart cannot pump. Okay, so in systolic, the proper pumping of the heart is not happening, and proper or if it is not filled properly. Okay, if not filled, this is the filling phase. Okay, while rest, the whole heart will get filled up with the blood, and while pumping, it will pump out. Okay, to the next part of the heart. Okay, so what is happening in heart failure? Of course, no proper not filling will be happen because the oxygen is not getting exchanged with carbon dioxide, so it will could be happen like this. Okay, no, not filling properly, or there will be not pumping properly. Okay, these two things could happen. And in heart failure, the heart's ability to pump blood efficiently is compromised. Of course, it will hinder. Okay, normal as it happens in natural condition, it will hindered by some or the other way. This accumulation of the fluid can cause the airways in the lungs to narrow down. Okay, and produces the symptoms similar to that of the asthma, because in asthma also what is happening, the main cause is narrowing down of these bronchial tubes. Okay, so these are the causes. Up till this is important, and this is you can just go through it, not so important for your purpose. Okay, other causes are these are the main causes, and other causes are these all: drinking excess, alcohol, anemia, loss of the blood, and etc. Then symptoms similar as that of the this asthma one. Okay, with this we have completed with our cardiac asthma. Any doubts in this?
Can you show the third slide, ma'am? First, third.
This one?
No, before. Next one.
This?
Oh, next one.
So now we'll go for cardiac. We'll go for yogic management of cardiovascular disorders. Okay. For all the cardiovascular disorders, all together we'll go for. Okay. Okay. So yogic management for cardiovascular disorders, all cardiovascular disorders all together. So as I told you about the, we'll go in the IAYT module again. Same, which will be very simple now. Same, we have to go through for the diets and everything in all. So what Annamaya Kosha? In Annamaya Kosha, what all we have involved in Annamaya Kosha? In last time,
Diet, asana, and kriyas.
yes, diet, asana, and Shatkriya. Okay. So, diet, the simple sattvic vegetarian diet that will build up your immunity, and kapha reducing again, avoid rajasic and tamasic foods. Other diets also. Now, Sheetlika, I am like breathing practices. All the breathing, simple breathing practices you can do, because we need to avoid the things which are affecting your like chest region or heart region. Okay. Tiger bendings, all this hand stretch breathing, etc. You can see all this very simple. Now, because actually mostly asanas, they focus on the, if something happens, usually cardiovascular in the asanas, if you will see that what like questions comes like in MCQ, like which asana is beneficial, or out of these how many asanas are beneficial for these respiratory disorders, like that questions come. Once when I gave the exam, that time comes. So You need not to learn that all these asanas, but you have to understand which asana we have to give. As I told you in the respiratory system, that all chest opening. So when you will see that all these 4 or 5 these options, you will see that all which are involved in chest opening, they will be some beneficial in this, and all others you can exclude out, which is not beneficial in respiratory disorders. Like that question could come. Okay, so now yoga asanas are the simple, very simple asanas, not forward bending, will be avoided in this cardiovascular disorders. Okay. Now, Chakrasan in standing back pose, Trikonasana, simple Vrikshasana, with the help of, you can go for with the help of like walls and all. Okay. And say to Gomukhasana, it could also be done with the help of chair. On sitting the chair, just um, like arms one you can do with the chair, and Vakrasana you can do twisting with the chair itself, Armatsendrasana, etc. Go for. And because no forward bending and all pressurizing your heart is happening in all these. Kriya Jalneti will do LSP, that is normal Lagu Shankarasana you can do, but you have to avoid Vaman Dhoti. Why? Because Vaman Dhoti is, what is Vaman Dhoti? Can anyone tell?
Upward push, ma'am.
Drinking lukewarm
Drinking salt, water and vomiting.
Water and vomiting it out.
In simple terms, we used to call it as kunjan. Okay, so kunjan is vomiting out that water. Okay, so vaman dhoti we have to avoid because whole pressure is coming on the upper region only. Okay, chest part only. And Sutaneti you can avoid because in Sutaneti also again and again when we are sneezing out, the pressure is coming on the facial region. So pranayam, simple, very simple pranayam. Kapalbhati, in this you have seen that in Kriya we are not giving them Kapalbhati. Why? Because Kapalbhati should not be given to the people suffering from these cardiovascular disorders. It will affect that. Hmm. You all know na, that Kapalbhati is also one of the Kriya.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm.
Bastrika, that's also we need to avoid.
That's also Kriya.
We need to avoid, ma'am.
Bastrika is also
Yes.
Kriya, na?
No, 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 no. Bastrika is pranayama.
Saying
Pranayam only. Sometimes.
okay. So now pranayam. Bastrika comes in pranayam. So Nadi Shodhan, normal Anulom Vilom, sectional breathing. I have told you that Vibhage pranayam, that abdominal breathing, thoracic and clavicular breathing, all it involves because it requires the simple and relaxation. Brahmari pranayam, Laya pranayam, in which the nad and sounds will practice. Manomaya Kosha will go for all the meditations. These are the meditations which are introduced by Eswasa, Bangalore. I have studied from there only. So MSRT, mind sound resonance technique, in which again and again resonance will create it in the mind, which will be the frequency of it will be energized with the environmental frequency and can lead to further relaxation. Their problems. Home meditation, cycling meditation, other different practices are there. Vijnanamaya Kosha, it is related to intellect, so we'll get for
What is sectional breathing?
sectional breathing. I told you before also, na, it is divided in the 3 part. Therefore, it is called as sectional breathing. As this is our body, so first is abdominal breathing. You will go for like closing your eyes. Different mudras for all the threes are there. Chin mudra, chinmay mudra, that Gyan mudra, chinmay mudra, and Adi mudra is there. Okay, that you can see on online also because I can't show you here. So abdominal breathing. First, we go for abdominal breathing. Closing your eyes. Just inhale. While inhalation, you will feel. You can do now only. Now also. Okay. Can we do it once, if you want? If you are
Sure,
not
ma'am.
sleeping and lying down. Okay, in sitting position. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Your hands position in Chin Mudra or Jnana Mudra, you simply say. Index finger, the tip, joining your tip of the index finger with the tip of your thumbs. Eyes closed. Continue deep inhalation and exhalation. If you're actually doing, you will understand what actually it is. Inhale while inhalation, bulge your abdomen up. Exhale, shrink your abdomen down. Inhale, bulge up. Exhale, shrink your abdomen down. Inhale, bulge up. Exhale, shrink down. Okay, this is abdominal breathing. Now we'll move towards thoracic breathing. Inhale. While inhalation, observe your chest is coming out, expanding, expansion of your chest. Exhale, your chest will shrink down back. Inhale, expand your chest. Exhale, shrink your chest down. Inhale, expand your chest. Exhale, shrink your chest out. Inhale, expand. Exhale, shrink down. This is thoracic breathing. Now we'll go for clavicular breathing. For clavicular breathing, we do Adi Mudra, no problem. Inhale, raise your shoulder a little up. Like observe that while inhalation, that much inhalation you are doing, that your shoulders are going up. Exhale, bring your shoulders a little down. Inhale, raise your shoulders a little up. Exhale, down. Hands on your thighs only. Inhale, it will glide a little up or slide a little down. Exhale, down. This is your clavicular breathing in the clavicular part. Now with this, all together we'll do abdominal, thoracic and clavicular breathing. All together is called as full yogic breathing. Inhale with inhalation. First of all, bulge your abdomen up. Further inhalation, expand your chest. With further inhalation, raise your shoulders a little up. Exhale in the similar manner. First of all, shrink your abdomen down, your chest inside, and shoulders a little down. Inhale with inhalation. Divide your breathing in 3 equal halves. First inhalation, inhale, bulge your abdomen completely up. With further inhalation, expand your chest. With further inhalation, raise your shoulders a little up. In the similar manner, first of all, exhale, shrink your abdomen down, your chest out, and your shoulders down. These 3 breathings all together merged are called as full yogic breathing. Now slowly you can open your eyes and relax. Have you understand now
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
how it is divided in
Yeah.
section?
Thank you.
Abdomen, chest, and this. So now this is Brahmari Pranayama.
Ma'am, in some places they tell while exhaling we have to do the reverse order.
Yes, yeah, this clavicular chest and then this one.
Yeah.
Yes, this happens. Somewhere people used to go from clavicle, chest, and this, and somewhere abdomen, chest, and this. Both you can go for, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Like that. So
Ma'am,
yes, ma'am.
can you again explain this MSRT meditation?
And this is mind sound resonance technique. What happens in this mind sound resonance? This is 45-minute session. Okay, what happens in mind sound? If you people want, I can even, when we'll complete our syllabus, when we will take one session for this also, we can take. So what happens in MSRT? Actually, we used to chant Om first, like 3 times Oms, and Mahamrityunjay mantra. One time Om, then Mahamrityunjay mantra. Further, we'll go for 3 sets of Om, and then we'll go for 3 sets of Mahamrityunjay mantra, and we'll observe after Om that first of all japa chanting, then japa chanting, then we'll go for 3 rounds of Mahamrityunjay mantra. After that it will get Om and Mahamrityunjay mantra all together like that, and after that we'll go for japa. This is japa one, we'll chant by mouth. Okay, like Om Trayambakaya Jamaye Sugadhim Push, like that. And at last we'll do ajapa chanting. Ajapa chanting means first we'll chant Om, then we'll go for ajapa and Om. Mentally the same Om will do, like inhale, and then same Om will do without any sound, and feel the same vibration as we are feeling in the while doing it. Okay, like similar that we'll go for Mahamrityunjay mantra chanting. After that, ajapa jap, like without sound, Mahamrityunjay mantra, feel the same vibration, etc. Like that, japa chanting. This will lead to further relaxation of our mind. Okay, this is MSRT. Om meditation. I used to make patients do it when I was at SVSA. So Om meditation we kept when Om like a symbol in front of them, light symbol, and all over there is a dark room. They used to see this, and we used to keep them like they have to analyze each and every part of the Om, feel the energies coming out of the Om, like that. We used to meditate on the Om, and then further we have cyclic meditation. It involves asanas, it involves stimulation and relaxation, set of stimulation and relaxation. Sometimes in question it could happen that because at the last unit, in your last unit, cyclic meditation is also given in that. Okay, so for that you have to understand whole cyclic meditation, but simply I am telling what is the main concept of cyclic meditation: stimulation and relaxation. This is the only meditation in which we used to do asana first, then relax. IRT we used to do some set of the asanas, then IRT. The IRT is instant relaxation technique for about 1 to 2 seconds. Okay, then we will do some asanas, two asanas or three asanas, like simple asanas, Shashankasan, like that. Okay, or Kati Chakrasana, and then we'll do again QRT, quick relaxation technique. Then after that also we'll do two asanas. Then after that DRT, deep relaxation technique, for about 15 to 20 minutes. For this is also the whole set of 45 minutes. So how this will do? This is clear to all meditations?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in Gyanmay Kosa, as I told you, yogi counseling will do lectures, will make them understand about their disease. Yogi counseling, how the yoga can affect them and can like benefit them, and then also their satsanga and all, something which we in the any way we should connect them with spiritually also. Okay, so there we used to have a like bhajana session also, bhajan session also. Okay, for who all the patients have to come there and should go for the bhajan, because in bhajan what happens, they are by doing that bhajan and all, their parasympathetic system will activate. Awareness programs about their disease and about what they have should take and what not should. Anandamay Kosha, happy assembly. I told you that games and all we have to play, and then Karma Yoga practices. Thank you. With this, all the cardiovascular disorders have completed along with their management. Okay. So is it all clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, what is
Yes,
happening?
ma'am.
Okay. So no doubts till here. We'll take its question tomorrow. So please revise before also, okay? From allergic rhinitis, you have to revise everything. I can even take the whole class for that. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. So revise. Deepam sir, you will revise now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Everyone have to revise everything, okay? We'll do tomorrow then. No doubts, we can end the session, okay? Okay, thank you so much to everyone. Hari Om, Namaste.
Hari Om, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.